So this is Mark Kern. He was one of the people in charge of making Vanilla WoW. He was a producer, I think, for it, and not necessarily dev, but he was involved with the production of the game. And he was talking a little bit about Vanilla WoW the other day, and we're gonna take a look at what he said. Emerald Dream original plan.
In WoW, when you died in WoW originally, you weren't supposed to be a ghost and run back to your body or anything. You were supposed to go to the Emerald Dream. And you were supposed to meet NPCs who had died in the lore of Warcraft, and they would give you quests that you could only do in the Emerald Dreaming. And you were supposed to be able to either find your way back, you could go back and find a spirit guide to bring you back, or you could stay there and complete quests there.
What the fuck? That's actually insane. Makes you wish they had another year to work on the game. I mean, like, who knows? That is fucking incredible.
Died in the lore.
Like, I am amazed. That's such a good idea. I mean, obviously, like, I could see that being bad, but, you know, they actually, I feel like this has got to be true because they even had a few quests that you could only pick up whenever you're dead, right? For the key for BRD and shit. Holy shit, man. That's actually fucking insane. Like the internal ends, I don't even know. Yeah, they should make a classic expansion. I mean, obviously, that's what seems like the best idea, right? Good idea, doesn't make sense. Emerald Dream isn't the realm of the dead. Well, it's not, okay, well, let's be honest. This is not the, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I still like the idea a lot. And it is unfortunate that they didn't go with this because it does sound really fucking cool. Breaks the game a lot, but cool, I guess? Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like, it wouldn't have broken the game because the game would have been designed around this. Okay, transmog and MMOs. This is going to be good.
Yeah, cosmetic progression.
Okay.
This was back when, you got to remember we were playing EQ, right? And one of the coolest things about EverQuest, there was no transmog, there was no nothing. So if you saw someone in, say, Rubicite armor, you knew they were badass.
I don't know what that is, but
you could only get that if you were really, really hardcore.
That's right.
And farmed it. And we wanted to give you sort of like more options for visuals as you progressed through the world. And that's something I miss from MMO design. Now that you can transmog everything and cosmetics is such a big moneymaker, you really don't have that anymore.
See how I said it's just a big moneymaker? Like, that's really what the cosmetics are. It's not about a progression, it's about making money. Because almost every single fucking game developer nowadays sells cosmetics. It's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. I'm glad to see Mark... It's sad to see, like, all these old WoW devs that think the exact same way that a lot of us do, and now they don't work on the game. Alright, WoW expansion progression.
Based on the principles of you always have to stay true to what made classic WoW.
Okay.
And if you do that, I think that that's the way I'd like to see expansions done. And there's precedence for this. I think RuneScape did something similar. Eventually they got their own content path, you know, for the classic version of RuneScape. And that's what I'd like to see happen with WoW. If you just follow the expansion packs, you're going to end up right where you started. And based on the principles of you always have to stay true.
Wow. Wow. Holy shit. So that means that he actually wants more content after Nax. I wonder if he's worried, though, about, like, I don't know, like, I'd be curious to hear what his response would be whenever I said, you know, like, how I feel. I'm just worried about Blizzard messing it up. I wonder what he would say about that.
In the older versions of these games, might cause a little revival. Why not? Why not bring back MMOs with a little more challenge where you actually feel like you live in this world, that you're not just dashing through it? Incidentally, that's another reason why we didn't do Free Flight. Not only was it technically challenging, but we didn't want to ruin the sense of world. We thought that in EQ, when you started porting around with druids and stuff, that it was getting way too... It shrunk the world. It made it feel inconsequential, and you just blew through these zones, and you didn't have the sense of world. We wanted you to walk through the world to get a feeling that you're actually in it. Now, maybe that's not true anymore, maybe people just want instant gratification, but I like to think that there's still a lot of people that want this slower pace experience. Am I going to die? This is going to be embarrassing. Right.
There are. I would say even there are more people that want the slower paced experience than want the fast paced experience. How do I know that? Is the people that want the fast paced experience just quit the game because they don't care. Like they get into it, they're not invested. It's just like, okay, I did the thing that happened really fast and now I'm done. So, okay, that's nice. And I mean, that's what it is. A vote time? Well, I mean, it's not really something you can really vote on because it's so much more nuanced than that. But in general, what he's saying is completely fucking true. Like, the world does feel smaller without flying. Because whenever you fly everywhere, you don't need to worry about, like, let's say, like, the Fell Reaver is a good example of this. And I think actually the way that you start off in a Hellfire Peninsula, for example, in Outland, and you see the Fell Reaver and you're like, fuck. And then you finally get up to max level, and maybe you can fly around in some zones. I think being able to fly in some zones is okay. Flying everywhere, probably not. So whenever you can fly over the Fell Reaver, over like the Pit Lord Commander, I think that there's a certain amount of like, mastery that somebody feels once they're able to overcome a certain challenge like that. Just one second, let me take a drink. Excuse me, guys. I apologize for that. Mark Kern on layering. Wait, what is this, your original?
We were originally shooting for, I think, Alan Adham, lead designer for the game when we were in the early stages, as well as founder of Blizzard, one of the founders of Blizzard. He wanted servers with only like 500 people on them, really tiny. And because he wanted that sort of social neighborhood-like effect where you run by people and you recognize their name, and you run by them again, you recognize their name again, and then maybe you'll actually go say hello. And if you are fewer people, we were originally...
What happened? Like, does Alan Adham still work at Blizzard? Blizzard. Let's see, does he still work there? After leaving the company, he returned to Blizzard in 2016. Okay, so now he's back. His favorite game of all time is EverQuest. Bro, like, can you work on WoW again? Like, have you seen LFR, dude? Have you seen what they've done to the fucking game? Well, come on, man, come back. Money's coming. No, man, the entire vanilla. Yeah, they did this whole thing, man. Like, he went on mobile. Look, dude, mobile games are fine. I don't hate mobile games. I think mobile games are great. But I don't think that mobile games should come at the expense of a true PC, full-fledged MMO experience. And that's what I think a lot of us here want. So, yeah, that's what I want to fucking see. I hate mobile games. I don't really even give a shit, man. Predicts the success of classic WoW.
And you have the retail players who want a very different experience. And I think it's just as valid to say, hey, this is a great MMO too.
Okay.
If you like retail, play retail. Mm-hmm. But I said you've lost about 4 or 5 million players who really miss this.
Leaked?
And grew up with this.
Wow.
And it was important. And I said, I think what'll happen is if you bundle it with the subscription, don't charge anything extra for it, you're going to bring people back that will play both. You'll bring people back like me who miss the old WoW.
Yeah.
And they're going to come for the nostalgia, and they're going to stay because they're going to it's not easy to get through this content.
Yeah.
They're going to stay a while. And if you keep supporting it, then I think that you'll be able to bring back a couple million to WoW. I said, at least 1 million, maybe 2 million, and that's more than enough to justify the existence of it. But I said, you know what? They're going to stick around because what they'll do is they'll play. And you have the retail player.
What I really like about this is that a lot of these like classic WoW guys, like him and like Kevin Jordan and a lot of these other people, they're just really, modest, soft-spoken neckbeards. right? I mean, that's basically what they are. Just elite neckbeards. Like, instead of being, you know, a level 28 neckbeard like us, you know, that are like level 40 neckbeards. And they just know what to do. And it's crazy just to hear the devs just say, literally, this is exactly what everybody's been saying. This is exactly what everybody's wanted. It's not even like, oh, kind of like that, or I'm, you know, misrepresenting what they're saying. No, they're literally saying that exact thing. And the old gods more like the old devs. Yeah, business suit neckbeards. I'm amazed.
You know, Blizzard actually told you guys that they lost the code for the original World of Warcraft. Well, that's partially true. What was missing was not so much the code, but the data, like all the spawn data and everything else. And so Nostalrius was really helpful in helping Blizzard understand how to patch some of the holes in that data.
That's actually pretty smart.
And get back what was lost. And then I think what happened was the Classic WoW team actually found another way to reconstruct the data that was even better. And through the hard work of all these people, they were able to replicate this. You know, Blizzard actually told you guys.
Wow, okay. That's exactly what we've been... Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm really not. Mark Kern on layering. Okay, this is going to be good. There's a few more of these, like 2 or 3 more.
I could see why they went with a layered approach here, because can you imagine trying to get these spawns?
It would be impossible. There's no way you could do it. There's no way.
If they weren't layered, like, it's bad enough as it is, right? Oh. Come on. Give me something.
See, now he's getting pissed.
So, but I hope they don't keep it for full launch, because I think a layered approach divides the community up, and you really want the social aspect for World of Warcraft. The original design goal for WoW was to be an intensely social game. At the same time, we wanted to give you a path to solo ability, so you didn't feel stuck. And so we made most of the quests and most of the leveling aspects of the world not group-oriented. And then for the hardcore players, we would build in difficult quests that required a group. Did I get them?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so developing PvP was something that we wanted to do from the beginning.
What a mistake.
But we were very unsure how to handle balance in PvE versus PvP.
Some things never change.
And that's something any MMO has to contend with. Anything that has a PvE version and a PvP version is not just twice as hard to do, it's about 10 times harder to do.
Yep.
Because unless you have completely different skills and abilities, it's very difficult to match up. And I'd like to say we knew what we were doing for that, but we really didn't. And PvP was so unfun during the last year of WoW development that we decided to hold it back to post-launch. And that was a really good decision.
Damn. Imagine that. An element of the game being unfun, so Blizzard decides to hold back releasing it. It should have always been World PvP. I think BGs are okay. I do. I don't think... I think random BGs are actually probably good, but I think there is a very strong argument to be made that BGs maybe should have never existed.
Something interesting about quest text.
Everybody keep start summons, guys.
I'll show you when it comes up later, and I'll mention it again. But originally, quest text used to instantly appear during early development of the game.
Right. Now there's an option for
that. We had tons of quests in the game, but our own teams were giving us feedback that there was not enough lore or story. And we're like, what do you mean? We have tons of quests and we've written all this lore. Right. How can you say there's no story? So we made a change. No, I'm not going to group. because I can't be a good group mate while I'm telling WoW stories.
Look at that.
And so we made a small change. We, instead of bringing the text up immediately, we teletyped it. So it would, and you can see this in classic WoW, it will actually just start drawing across the screen. And that, something interesting about quest text. People are asking me, how is WoW Classic going to survive modern times? And I think it's going to survive modern times by not dicking around too much with it, honestly. Warts and all. Like, I think...
Hey, look at that.
I think you have to make changes, but you're going to have a guiding set of philosophies so that you never... Because if you start making change after change, you just become retail WoW after a while. If you just go down the regular expansion set, you become retail WoW after a while. And that defeats the whole purpose of sort of like taking the design philosophies, a slice in time at the beginning, and carrying them forward. So what were those design philosophies? They were about, having a meaningful experience.
He just knows.
Leveling, having a sense of achievement.
I mean,
we wanted shorter gameplay sessions. To us back then, that meant
only 5 hours.
You want to feel like you were accomplished in an hour. Now people want to feel accomplished in the 15 minutes they have to log on. People are asking me.
This is crazy. Like, I literally just... They just say, like, he just says what it is. You started this. Like, no, I mean, like, why no graphics updates? Because the game, I think that there's a certain amount of nostalgia that appeals to people. I mean, this is the way I feel, right? Certain amount of nostalgia that appeals to people, and whenever you start making graphical changes, then you sort of kind of diverge from people's original memories of the game, and so they won't be attached to it in the same way. If you want like a real answer of why, I mean, that's why I would say. Everybody meet up. I want everybody to meet up actually in front of Jaina's castle. In front of Jaina's area. We want to get everybody there. So head over there, guys, and we need to make a second, third, fourth, and fifth group. So every single person, if you are watching this stream right now, and you have the beta, and you are Alliance, you are obligated to come to Theramore and help us kill this boss. Okay? This is a legal requirement. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Let's go. Everybody get the fuck over here. Move the video. Yeah, I have one more that I'm going to watch. Then we're going to start this up, okay? Collectible cards.
I really wanted a collectible card game mini game in World of Warcraft. I wanted you to be able to, because we were playing a lot of CCGs in our off time, Magic the Gathering, Legend of the Five Rings.
Hey.
And I wanted one in-game as a mini game. And the idea was you could play it anywhere. You could sit down at a campfire out there or whip out a deck of cards and start playing with somebody else. And you'd get like a little
like
menu
Gwent
screen
or something.
And put cards down. This was hard to imagine back then because The Witcher 3 hadn't happened. Gwent hadn't happened.
Hey, there you go.
Nobody understood what the benefit of this would be. I wanted you to loot cards from mobs out in the world to fill your deck. And when you got into the inn,
it's like the Darkmoon
if
Fair.
I sat down at one of these tables across from somebody else, and we played a round of this card game, it would be ranked. So the inns would be places you would go to get ranked play. Same with boats.
They're like gyms and Pokemon.
Boat rides were meant to be pretty long. I really wanted a...
It's crazy, man. I get so high. I'm so... The guy... I mean, like, these guys are... I mean, they're fucking geniuses. Like, they just know. Like, they just fucking know what to do. And the fact that these guys, these elite neckbeards from the early 2000s were able to come together and create this game, like, it's just incredible to believe, man. Did he get fired or did he leave? I don't know what the details are, honestly. I don't know, like, what his relationship with Blizzard is. I think that it's not, like, particularly good, but who the fuck knows? He left. Yeah, I don't want to get into, like, too much details.